Hey guys, Coach Gaglione here. This is another edition of our Gags Goals Updates. If it's your first time stopping by, I'm Coach Gaglione. This is Gaglione Strength. And this vlog is chronicling my strength and weight loss journey. I've been as heavy as 340 pounds, currently 215 on this day. So really cool. I've been down over 120 pounds all time. Yeah, so this is kind of my journey, just trying to be strong and lean. So I want to just kind of recap a little bit, some short-term progress and long-term progress. Also, I have some data points here. So I want to kind of, I just think this is important. So we can go through like long-term first. So since starting 3 years ago, 340 was my heaviest. It was not my quote-unquote starting point three years ago. I'd say my starting point was about 335. So, according to my, I use MyFitnessPal to track just my weight, and I use the InBody, which is right over here. It's a scale that uses electrical impedance. So it's just a good way to kind of measure body fat. Like I said, it is a $6,000 scale, so it is an investment, but it's something I find is an important tool for what we do here. So about 3 years ago, give or take a couple of months, I forget the exact time frame when I started doing my weight. I think it was probably in the summertime, so maybe it's still three years and a couple of months at this point. It was 335, so about 120 pounds from since starting, 125 pounds all time. So that's a 3-year time span. So I think that's an important landmark. A year ago, so I think this is important, there's some ups and downs here. About a year ago, according to my MyFitnessPal, I was 238. So it's only 23 pounds in the past year. So as you can see, the progress, as I've gotten leaner, as I've gotten closer and closer to my goal, my progress has slowed down more and more. So I think that's important. Also important to note, when I competed at my first, I should say my second meet at 220, which was this past April. So figure that's about 6 months ago. I actually was heavier. I don't want to say I purposely got a little heavier, but I tried to kind of fill out the 220 weight class. So I was actually 243 after my final deadlift. I weighed in at 219. I was 243. So about in April, since April time, I've actually, like I said, I put on weight from, I guess, from October of last year through like the holidays. I put some weight on. I love Mama's Rainbow Cookies, so that's always I always attempt to put a little bit of weight on the holidays. I am human like everyone else, and then I re-lost the weight. So that my progress has not been linear by any means, but I've been on a really good trend, especially the past month. Now, from a short-term standpoint, I also kind of want to go through my in-body stuff as far as like the body fat and stuff. So on August 8th, so it's not too long ago, so you figure about 2 months or so, I was 230. And that was kind of like where I was stuck, and around that time, I started to kind of play some different ACE cards, started to implement a little bit more cardio, but was not using too much cardio. Like I mentioned before, I've been using an interval program for my friend Ashley Cast that's been working well. Still only doing about like 20 minutes per, couple times a week, nothing crazy. But, it's added calorie burn. And I was about a little over 20% body fat. So fast forward to September, so September 5th, so about a month later, and a month prior to today, it's about October 3rd today, I was 222. Okay. And then August 29th, I was 226. So I think that was probably when I started doing a little bit more fasting, like during like the end of August and the beginning of September, probably closer to the beginning of September, to be truth be told. And then obviously today I'm 215. So on average, I've only been losing like about 4 to 5 pounds per month over the past 2 months, which is barely like a pound a week. So I just want to kind of show you guys, because a lot of times I get kind of comments like, oh, I want to lose weight fast like you. And it's like a little over a pound a week in like that short time span. It's really not that much. It's really not a crazy amount. And obviously I've lost, a lot of weight already, over 100 pounds. So it's going to be slower. So I think that's important, depending on how much weight you have to lose. Backtracking again, on August 20, so yeah, this was about 3 years ago, a little bit, 3 years and 2 months. August 25th, 2016, this was one of my first in-body scans I did. It was about just under 335. My body fat read 137, so that's how much fat mass I actually had. And today, so it was 137.4 on August 25th, 2016, and today was 37.3. So from 2016, I've actually lost 100 pounds of pure fat, which is pretty cool. So that means I'm losing at a good progress. So actually taking the in-body, getting your body fat done is a really good way to make sure you're preserving muscle mass. My dry lean mass is 51 on August 25th, 2016. My dry lean mass, that's like your muscle mass and bone tissue and things like that, is 47. So I did lose some muscle, but knock on wood, not too much. So that's pretty good. And then my water weight is down also considerably. So that could be, so I went from 144 to 130. So I'm thinking that's maybe inflammation and things like that. And obviously you're just not going to carry as much water. If you don't have as much muscle mass and you're not carrying as much water, or if you're just not hydrated, those are things to consider. But in general, a bigger person is going to, if they have more inflammation and things like that, they're going to have a little bit more water kind of weight as well. So these are some things to consider. My body fat was 41.2%. That's pretty disgusting, but that's what it was. And then today it was 17.4, which isn't bad. Nothing earth-shattering, but for men, I like to see men under 20%. So I'm kind of finally in that healthy range, which is cool. My goal is to get down to 15% and try to maintain that most of the time. So the 15% is a nice mark because it gives me a little bit of like a 5% cushion, where if I start to creep towards 20%, I can get back in check and kind of stay. If I could hang out between 15 to 18%, like year round, I think that'd be a good goal. If I'm trying to maybe prep for a competition in the future, it'd probably be closer to 18% if I'm doing a powerlifting meet and all that stuff. So that's just kind of like, I just want to give you guys a little bit of an update, just because, being under 18% body fat's a big milestone for me. Losing 100 pounds of fat's a big milestone for me. And like I mentioned before, and if you've been watching our vlog, this has been like a 3-year process for me. It's kind of coming to the end of the road, and this was my ultimate goal. It's been a very long journey, and I'm just excited to share it with you guys. So this is kind of really coming to fruition. I'm feeling the pressure a little bit, but I'm excited. Squats and deadlifts are feeling good. Bench press not so much, and I'll kind of talk about that. But a lot more good than bad. So I'm overall happy because my #1 goal is being lean and healthy, and I'm definitely checking those boxes off. So I'm happy about that. So on to squat training. This was my second to last fully equipped workout. I'm probably going to have to add in another brief or a tighter brief because things are starting to fit a little bit loose, but neither here nor there. Not a bad session. I did kind of rush through my warm-ups. It's been very busy on Sunday, which I'm really excited about. The teams have been awesome. We had a lot of PRs on that particular day. This was not a PR for him. I know like Jose hit like a 570 squat for a double, and he's been a little bit sporadic with his training, so that was a good session for him. Brandon hit a huge PR. B-Horn hit 660 for a set of 5, blew it up. That was a huge PR for him. I want to say it's, I don't know, close to like a 40-pound 5-rep record. It's supposed to be a 3-rep max, and he just absolutely smashed it, so I let him go a little bit further. Leo did a really, really explosive 700 and did 790 with reverse bands, which was I think either a 30 or 40-pound PR with the reverse monster minis for him, so he's looking really good. He's looking like he's going to hit his first elite total at 220, so I'm really excited for him. He's doing really well. A lot of the girls did great. Emily's doing her first meet in wraps. She's doing well. She did more than her old max, I think, for a double or a triple. I think I want to say maybe 210. Carrie did 220 for a PR triple. Good stuff overall. Those were kind of like the highlights that I could remember. And then for my chubby little self, once I kind of got in the groove, I didn't really take my warm-ups to depth, so it kind of took me a little extra to kind of get my groove, and I was a little bit all over the place. We also had our squat party at Ironstone Barbell, which you guys can check out. I know Maggie ended up hitting a bench PR. I think she did a 190 for a triple, I think it was 190 she did for a triple. Very strong there. My man Lowell, who's training for an upcoming meet, he did an 800-pound reverse band squat, which was really cool. So a lot of good stuff there at Ironstone Barbell. So I was a little bit run down from traveling to Pennsylvania and back and forth, and I was kind of coming back from, I was sick all week with just like a nagging cold, and obviously just all the fatigue built up from the cycle. I should have done a better job of planning a deload somewhere in there. I did not really do a good job of that, but I've just been really trying to, I have lofty goals. I'm really trying to push the pedal to the metal at this point, and that's been probably served me well for squat and deadlift, but we'll kind of get into a second. I'm definitely a little bit behind the 8 ball with bench right now. So squats, I hit a little bit above my projected opener. I did 750. It was a little bit high, but moved okay. Like I said, just my warm-ups were rushed, and I wasn't really taking my warm-ups to depth, so that was kind of an issue there. 800, I had a little bit of a snag with my straps coming undone, so I was just in the wraps for a long time. It was a grinder, but I came up with it, and at 216 body weight on this particular day. I weighed 215 today, but 216 on that day. That was the first 800-pound squat I've done sub 220 without any type of water cut, so that was a good milestone. I don't know really what happened here, but I had an 850 miss. It is what it is. I kind of shook it off, and I just added a heavier reverse band, and I thought it was really comfortable. I tightened up my belt a little bit. I had Nick Volkswagen Beetle. He gave me a little tighter knee wrap, and I thought 850 was actually really comfortable with the reverse light bands. Again, first being sub 220 and moving 850, I was pretty happy with that. After that, I had it was actually a PR set of 5, even though I never hit a set of 5 in wraps this cycle, so it is what it is. But it was the heaviest I've done raw in a while. I did 520 for 5 in wraps after that, and then I did some belt squatting in I want to say between the 455 and 545 and 455 and 545 range is a little bit of a tongue twister there. 545 to 455. Did some sets there. That's been going well. Belt squatting has been a great way for me to get volume in without beating myself up too much. So feel good. Overall, I was happy with squats. I wasn't happy that I had a miss, but it is what it is. I think it was more of a technical miss and more of me just not focusing than anything else. So need to definitely put a premium on my recovery moving forward. I don't have any traveling kind of coming up. I just have a seminar I'm doing in New Jersey, a staff in-service thing. I don't really foresee that being an issue. So. And all my heavy training will be done at that point. So up until that, nothing too much going on there. For bench, shoulder's not really feeling great. I did get some work on it. One of my friends, Shira, worked on me at Ironstone Barbell. If you look on my Instagram, you can see I guess it was on my Instagram story, so it wasn't on my feed. But I had some gnarly bruises for that. My lat, my pec is all gunked up. I'm going to see Dr. Albury again. I've been getting massages on it. Probably maybe do some cryo because it's been a little inflamed as well. But I've just been trying to do what I can, just trying to focus on what I can do, not what I can't. And I'll kind of go over some things that I'll be implementing over the next couple of weeks just to kind of get a training stimulus. But I'm not really able to grind my benches. I'm really just kind of losing my position on my right side. So I did some raw work with 135 and 80 pounds of chain. Just to kind of warm up and just try to get the pattern in a little bit. And then I worked up to 225 with 80 pounds of chain with the bench freak band. I did some slingshot work before that. Nothing earth-shattering there. I'm just trying to just keep the technique fresh, and while my shoulder heals up, I'm really not able to do much. Anything that's kind of past 315 range, whether it be chain weight or straight weight, I just honestly haven't been able to do. So I'm just really trying my best to find exercises that I can grind with. So one thing I was able to do some overhead pressing, so I'll probably keep that in for a little bit. I'm going to experiment with some reverse grip benching like I did in the past, maybe some incline pressing. Just try to find some exercises that I could strain a little bit on so I could at least kind of keep some general strength. I did 135, 155, and then 165 for triples in the overhead press, which is not great, but it's just I was able to strain a little bit on there, so I thought that was productive. And then in between, I was warming up. Before that, I was doing my seal rows. I did 215, 235, 245, and then I did a top set of 250 for 3, which is a PR, so that was something. So at least the back strength is getting stronger. Even though it's not necessarily, the lat's not really stable on my right side, at least my overall back strength is getting better, so that's a good thing. I did some down sets at 215, I think for 3 sets of 5 on the seal rows. And then I did, 2 sets of 5 at 215. And then I did 2 sets of 5 at 135 for the overhead press. And then I did 175 for 2 sets of 8 with a supinated grip. So I'm going to experiment with more reverse grip stuff. In the past, if you looked at my training log from last cycle, reverse grip bench was one of the exercises I was able to do since it's kind of keeping me fully externally rotated. It's not allowing my elbow to flare at all. So I'm probably going to add in some reverse grip bench up until the knee just to get some work in. So the overhead press, seal rows, maybe reverse grip benching. I'm going to try to add in those exercises to kind of just get some sort of training stimulus for my upper body while the shoulder heals up. Deadlift day was good. I was definitely feeling run down after all the training and, like I said, having a couple of misses on the bench, misses on the squat, which is not ideal. Definitely do as I say, not as I do. But again, I'm kind of not really adhering to my own advice, trying to get stronger and leaner at the same time. So I'm definitely playing with fire, trying to lift as maximally as I am in a calorie deficit. So it is what it is, and I kind of accept the fact that it's not really ideal training circumstances, but ultimately it's leading me to my goals. So I got to take the good with the bad. For deadlifts, I just wore the Spudding training briefs today just to kind of keep my hips warm. I've mentioned before, I don't really feel like I get anything out of the Spud briefs, but I do just feel good. So I just think it's a nice tool if you want to go a little bit wider. I will get a little bit out of it on a squat, but I don't really feel like I get any carryover on the deadlift personally, just for reference. I did a couple of warm-up sets at like 275, and then we worked out with my buddy Pete today. And what we did, we just added 2 chains every single set. So I guess it ended up being like 4 sets of doubles, and then we did about 3 singles after that. So I started at 315 with a blue band, then we did 315 with 2 chains, which is 40 pounds a chain, 315 with 4 chains, which is 80 pounds a chain, and then 315 with 6 chains, which is 120 pounds a chain. And it was pretty tough once we got to that. My grip started to go a little bit, so I added straps. So I did 3 more doubles. I did a double at 345 with 6 chains, 375 with 6 chains, and then 405 with 6 chains. And that was pretty tough. That was a grinder for me. So just trying to work on my acceleration a little bit, which is why I use a lot of accommodating resistance on this day. It's a little bit more than I typically do, but again, my goal is to work on my acceleration, because as I've gotten lighter, my strength off the floor is not what it used to be, to say the least. My sticking point completely reversed when I was super heavyweight. I used to be really explosive off the floor and have a really shitty lockout. Now my lockout's a lot better and really shitty off the floor, so excuse my French. Then I did some block pulls after that. As you could see, like I said, really hard. The first rep's the hardest one for me to get started. I did a set of 5 and a set of 8 at 485, getting some good volume there. Last week 505 felt more challenging than for 5, than 485 for 8, so that I felt was an improvement there. The block pulls have always been a good indicator of my deadlift strength, so I'm happy that those are improving. Even though it's, again, nothing earth-shattering, it definitely is putting me in a good position where I could hopefully, like I said, just nail it around the 650 range for the deadlifts at the meet, which would be great. So block pulls were good. Was definitely tired after that. And then I did a set of 5 reps. I don't even remember. 5 or 8 reps or something like that. I did sets of between 5 and 8. I don't even remember. I'm tired at this point. With 405 and 455 on the belt squat. Good morning. And my back was pretty toast. I'm gonna just do some rehab stuff for my upper body tomorrow. Normally I would do a speed bench day, but I really can't bench, so I'm just gonna do what I can. I might do some light incline pressing and just some kind of bodybuilding work, just to get some blood flow in there. I'm gonna do a little bit of work with wraps. I'm going to do a little bit of speed work, and then in a couple of weeks I have my last full geared workout. So it's coming less than 5 weeks out from the meet. Getting close to the end of the road at 198. So I'm very, very excited. I'm tired. I'm kind of ready for this prep to be over, but I'm just itching and excited to compete. So I really appreciate you guys following along my journey. If you guys have if you guys want to support the program, please subscribe. Definitely, give us a 5-star review on Google, on Facebook, on iTunes. All those things make a big difference. If you want to support the program, check out the links below. And thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions, follow us on Instagram, send me a DM. I want to help you guys out the best we can. So thank you guys so much. Until next time, stay strong, and we'll see you soon.